Hello, hello. Hi. Hey. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexandria King. I promise y'all, I have so much more energy than this right now. Um, yeah, but I'm halfway between like wanting to cry and all that stuff. But we're not gonna go there today. I do believe in crying though, having a good sweet cry. But I think I need to look here. So sorry. Um, so I have been documenting my journey of writing and publishing my first novel for years now. However, I've never actually recorded it to be released and for other people to see it. So I am a Bahamian. I do live in the Bahamas, and I think that's really good to preference because there are Bahamian writers, but on the YouTube spare it might be very little or none. Also, I am thinking I have always wanted to go to traditional route, but I have been thinking of doing indie publishing, indie route. We shall see. Right now, I just came off the phone with a potential editor. Actually, I really like this person. She has so much years of experience, especially since I'm writing an afro-caribbean book. She has so much years of experience, and to me she would know how to give my book that presence that I really want, where you love a character. So I sent her my first chapter, and the first chapter was for her to look over, and I was shocked to find out that my first chapter don't have much presence and scene and stuff like that. And it makes sense because the 19 pages that my first chapter is has maybe 1 to 0 paragraphs. So I wrote a bunch of dialogue for 19 pages because okay, so when I read books, right, and I was doing this when I was into fan fiction books from like junior school, I always used to skip the paragraph because I just feel like, at least back in the day, the paragraphs used to just be run on, right? And I just never used to like it, so I used to do dialogue. And I didn't realize, like, I didn't purposely was like, I'm not gonna do a paragraph. I didn't do a paragraph because I was trying to show and not tell, but I guess you can. It didn't hit me, y'all. This is my first book. You can show and not tell even in a paragraph, but I was just like, so that was my brain. Like, I don't want to just tell people, oh, I feel I feel bad. No, why? Like, describe it because it is first person. So I don't want to be like, I don't want the character to just say I feel bad. Mind you, the character could. Anyway, so my book name is Jabez, is the pending name because Jabez was the main character of the first draft. But then when I redrafted, there's two main characters, both Jabez and Davian. So obviously the book cannot be named Jabez anymore. But I have not found a name worthy enough. And honestly, I've been just trying to get what I feel here and what I feel here just to go on paper and just be like, that's it. So yeah. Um so she's pretty amazing, the editor. Um and I'm hoping she didn't deny me. She did a lot of things. She even read like 2 books to me and made me go in my bookshelf and read a book, which I grab a Edwidge Danticat. Hopefully I pronounced her first name correctly. A Danticat book named Brother I'm Dying, which is an incredible book. It's not written in the same point of view or anything like that, but it was really just to show me how a paragraph is also many stories, what she said. So she hasn't accepted me as yet, but she did not deny it. I have to show her that I can take instructions. So she gave me 7 to 9 days to redo the first chapter. And that's kind of nerve-wracking. Um, I'm not gonna cry. So I'm not ashamed to cry, but it's like I just want to make sure my words are out. And that's kind of hard to do when you're crying. But I growing up, I was dyslexic. I never got tested for it. Well, I did, and then they lost the test. Wow. But it's pretty there's just telling signs. So I was dyslexic, maybe. Yeah. um and I was a late reader and everything like that, and writing and reading was always like, if you ever wanted to make Ali cry, that was like the soft spot for me. So so to write a book, okay, so for example, I wanted to be a full-time writer when I was in high school. So I was like, okay, I have to go to college. You don't have to go to college. But I'm just saying, in my culture, I had to go, like, my mother was going to make me go to college. So, but you know, it could make you, but you know, if you live in a Caribbean society, you understand exactly what I mean. And obviously, I would have been so excited to take up creative writing. Obviously, I really wouldn't have mind. But I was so afraid. And mind you, at this point, I'm reading books. Like, I'm reading, like, I would read like three, okay, because I would mainly read all fan fiction because I didn't have no money like that, or why would I spend money if I have fan fiction? So I would read like three books that were ongoing. So with fan fiction, the writers usually do like chapter per chapter, like once a week, or however they schedule it. So I would do that, and then I would also have like one or two books that that was already completed to like hold me over while like the chapter. And mind you, sometimes the chapter was due like every two weeks, and I would not be on YouTube. I would not watch TV. I would literally just read books. So, and but the thing is, I would read in my brain, in my mind, and I would read in my mind. So I had very little, and honestly, to be real, reading out loud, especially in front of people, is like a sensitive spot for me, especially since I don't practice it, I don't do it. I read faster in my head. So the idea of, if I'm in college and I take up creative writing, there would be a time where I have to stand up in front of class and read, that fear alone was the reason why I did not pursue creative writing. And I am 100% serious. That was the main reason. So I took up hospitality management. I did a minor then my sophomore year, I think, the like right before I went as a junior. I think it is sophomore, then junior, then senior. If it's switched, I sometimes get it wrong, sorry. But yeah, so I did, so like at the end, I decided to do Bahamian Caribbean literature, and I loved it. And I actually got way better grades. Like for my Caribbean, my literature classes, I would get A's, maybe a B plus. And then for my other classes, I got I got like I got B's too, but I didn't get like much A's. Like I got A's, but it was more in like the literature classes. But the thing is, I'm really good with literature because literature is like critiquing stuff like that, really getting into the novel, dissecting and stuff like that. But language, language is a total different ball game. I Yeah, I would get point. And then the thing is, because it was a literature class, they didn't mark so heavily on grammar and language. They mark more heavily on your points. So I was able to get away, because trust me, if they was doing based on grammar and all that stuff, Alexandria wouldn't get as good of grades as she did. But anyway, that's just like a little background. So she said, don't be discouraged. I don't want to be rejected. Honestly, I don't feel like I will. I believe that I would be able to do what she says, at least to the point where she could say she could work with me, because she's not looking for perfect. She already see I have a deficiency in paragraphs and stuff. So yeah, like I didn't have the ages, I didn't show, like I didn't describe the surroundings, like, so yeah, like adding them in. But you know, I was expecting more good stuff, you know, but she wasn't able to relate to the characters because I'm like very sensitive about my characters because I love them so much. So it was like, you didn't feel that, like that didn't hit you. And it didn't, and it couldn't, because there weren't any paragraphs, there weren't any scenes, any descriptions. There was just straight dialogue. And me, I like books. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. So I'm gonna do it. Today is Wednesday. I'm gonna try and upload the day of. So today is Wednesday. She said to give her 7 to 9 days. So she said she gave me 7 to 9 days to redo it. And she was gracious enough to say that I could send her and ask her questions and all that stuff, and I could also send her like minor pieces, and maybe even from that we could just go ahead. But it's going to be a lot more rewriting than I expected. I know it was going to be a lot of editing, but I thought it would have been more like that is development. But I mean, I thought it would have been, I didn't think it would have been that. But honestly, that didn't pop in my head because I'm not a paragraph girl. So that's it for today. You learned about me. So I'm in the editing part of my book, and I'm going to take you guys straight through until I get that beautiful call that says, even if I self-edit or self-publish or anything like that, I will take you guys with me on that incredible journey as well. Writing is a craft, and I would rather cry out my insecurities so that I can embrace what God has said about me and grow into confidence than to not write and to put it on the shelf. So last thing I would say is that I wrote this book in 2017. I finished it December. I was so happy. It was 80,000 words. I reread it in January the next year because I gave my eyes some break, and I got so stinking scared. And for 2 years I was so scared, and every time I pick it up I would like try replan, I would this and that, and I just got scared and I put it down. So this year during quarantine I was like, Alex, you believe in this story. Y'all, I literally paid tithes for this book. Like I like y'all like what? I planted a seed. I believe in, so I believe. You don't have to believe in that. That's your business. As well as writing, I literally put seeds like in offering, like, because my church like pray over stuff. Like, you don't have to pay them to pray over stuff. That's not what I did. But I put a seed. It was like a symbolic. I'm very symbolic. You guys might realize about me soon, but I'm very symbolic in that. And I just believe, and I just was led to do it. So I did that a couple of times. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed at all. So yeah, so this year I redid it. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm moving so much. I'm using my hands. I was using my leg at first, and then I was like, I can't do it because now it's turnover. But I'm using my hands. So yeah, that's me. Welcome on the journey. If you're watching this 5, 6, 7 years later, I hope that you could see this beginning. And I don't know how it's gonna end all the way. It's gonna end with a published book, but I don't know like all what's gonna happen. So I'm probably gonna be someone that can make you feel very happy if you're watching like if you already see the end result. Because I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna cry if I have to cry, but I'm a push. So welcome to the journey, and I'm super happy that you guys are joining me. So bye.